Greetings, everybody. Welcome back to Weekly Wildlife Wisdom. So far, I've been your host, Zero Yeti, and happy Aviation Day. This is the second Aviation Day special we've done on this channel, and which means we're going to be talking about 5 flying or at least aerial animals. Starting with Ruppel's vulture, also called Ruppel's griffon vulture. It is named after Edward Ruppel and is a large bird of prey in the genus Gips, which is native throughout the Sahel and eastern Africa, as well as the Iberian Peninsula and parts of Italy. Here they tend to inhabit grasslands, mountains, and open woodlands. Ruppel's vultures are a diurnal and very social bird, roosting, nesting, and feeding in large flocks. They spend much of their time flying at great altitudes, using strong winds and thermals to efficiently soar. They are known to regularly cruise upwards of 20,000 feet or 6,000 meters above the ground, with some known to go as high as 37,000 feet or 11,300 meters. This makes them the highest flying bird. These vultures locate food by sight and often follow herds of animals. Once they find a carcass, they swoop down, land a little way off, and then bound forward with their wings spread and their long necks outstretched to make them look bigger and more intimidating. Even amongst Old World vultures, Ruppel's vultures are specialized feeders. With a spiked tongue and a strong beak, they typically strip flesh with ease and feed upon pelts, hides, and even the bones of the animals themselves. Reaching around 33 to 41 inches or 85 to 103 centimeters in length, 14 to 20 pounds in weight, with a 7.5 to 8.5 foot or 2.26 2.6 meter wingspan. They are one of the largest vultures in Africa. Both sexes sport mottled brown or black feathering overall, with a whitish brown underbelly and thin, dirty white fluff covering their head and neck. The base of the neck is a white color, and the eyes are typically yellow or amber. They have a crop patch, which is deep brown in coloration, and their head does not have feathers. This species of vulture is considered to be monogamous, forming lifelong breeding pairs. They nest in cliffs and colonies up to 1,000 strong. After courtship, a pair will work together to build a nest using twigs, grass, and leaves that they have gathered. Here, the mother will lay one egg, and both parents will share incubation of their egg over a period of 55 days. Once the chick hatches, both parents will feed and tend to it for around 150 days, and then it fledges. The young remain dependent on their parents after fledging, not reaching independence until the next breeding season. Under ideal conditions, a Ruppel's vulture may live up to 50 years. Next up is the southern flying squirrel, also known as the Azapan. It is, along with its relatives, the northern and Humboldt's flying squirrels, make up the genus Glaucomes, which are the flying squirrels of North America. The southern flying squirrel sports a wide range from Ontario to Quebec in the north to Florida in the south, and from the east coast west to the Great Plains, with disjunct populations occurring in the mountains of Mexico, Guatemala, and Honduras. They inhabit deciduous forests and mixed woodlands and build nests out of sticks and leaves, typically inside of natural cavities and woodpecker holes. They are a highly social nocturnal species which may nest and forage in groups of up to 25 individuals. An omnivorous species, southern flying squirrels feed upon fruit, nuts, insects, buds, mushrooms, and other fungi, carrion, bird and reptile eggs, and flowers. They are themselves preyed upon by snakes, owls, hawks, cats, and raccoons. Reaching around 8 to 10 inches or 21 to 26 centimeters in length, southern flying squirrels have large, dark eyes and flattened tails. The body is covered in a gray-brown fur on top, with darker flanks and a cream color underneath. Flying squirrels do not actually fly, but rather glide using a membrane called a patagium. After launching off a tree, they form an X with their limbs by spreading their long arms forward and out and their long legs backwards and out, causing their membrane to stretch into a square-like shape which they use to glide. This gives them great maneuverability, as they are capable of flying around objects and making 90-degree turns. Just before reaching a tree or the ground, they raise their flattened tails to change their trajectory upwards and point all of their limbs forward to create a parachute effect with the membrane in order to reduce the shock of landing. Breeding occurs twice a year, and after a 40-day pregnancy, a mother of southern flying squirrel will typically give birth to 2 to 7 blind, helpless young, which are weaned after 65 days and become fully independent after around 120. Under ideal conditions, the southern flying squirrel may live upwards of 10 years. Crissura reflugens, which is a species of parasitic cuckoo wasp in the family Chrysinidae, or Chrysinidae, which is an insect which has one of the largest natural ranges of any insect, being found throughout North America, Europe, and Africa. Adults are generally solitary diurnal creatures, will sometimes inhabit grasslands and open woodlands, and they feed upon nectar and sometimes honeydew, which is produced by aphids. As such, cuckoo wasps are considered to be important pollinators. Reaching around 0.39 to 0.47 inches, or 10 to 12 millimeters in length, they sport large, strong jaws and a thick armored cuticle. The head and chest are metallic blue or green, while the abdomen is typically a metallic gold or red. Their exoskeleton has concave points, which allow these wasps to fold themselves in half and snuggle their abdomen against their head and thorax. When threatened, cuckoo wasps often do this in order to roll up into a ball and stay perfectly still. The cuckoo wasp's common name refers to their habit of depositing their eggs in other insects' nests. This is a strategy practiced by birds like Old World cuckoos and New World cowbirds. Crissura reflugens typically parasitizes mason, leafcutter, and potter bees by infiltrating the bees' nests and laying their eggs amongst the eggs of the bees. Afterward, the mother cuckoo wasp leaves, and sometime later the cuckoo wasp's eggs hatch, and their larvae begin to feed on both the food the bees leave for their own offspring, as well as the bee larvae themselves. Under ideal conditions, a Crissura reflugens may live around a year. Next up is Exocetus vilatans, commonly known as the tropical two-winged flying fish or blue flying fish, is a species of ray-finned fish in the family Exocetidae, which is native to the tropical and subtropical seas worldwide, in both coastal waters and the open ocean, with particularly abundant populations occurring in the Caribbean and Mediterranean seas. It is a social species which lives in schools of several hundred to several thousand strong. They feed upon copepods, small crustaceans, and plankton. Blue flying fish themselves eaten by sharks, tuna, dolphin fishes, marlins, mackerels, rainbow fishes, squid, porpoises, dolphins, and seabirds. To attempt to escape these predators, flying fish can reach speeds of up to 35 miles per hour and launch themselves out of the water. Sorry, my turtle's making a lot of noise in the background. So they launch themselves out of the water and glide through the air, often some 650 feet, by using highly modified wing-like pectoral fins. Reaching around 8 to 12 inches in length and up to 2 pounds in weight, these fish sport a blunt snout, dark blue upper parts with a silvery white underbelly and gray fins. The dorsal fin has no spines and 12 to 15 soft rays, while the anal fin has no spines and 12 to 14 soft rays. During mating, a female will lay a clutch of 300 to 400 eggs in the open water, which males then fertilize. Under ideal conditions, a blue flying fish may live upwards of 5 years. Next up is the bar-tailed godwit, which is a bird in the family Scolopacidae, which is known to breed in the Arctic coast and tundra from Scandinavia to Alaska. They overwinter on the coast and wetlands in the temperate and tropical regions of Australia and New Zealand. This is the longest known non-stop flight of any bird, and also the longest journey without pausing to feed of any animal, at around 18,020 miles, or 29,000 kilometers. These birds are also known to be regular visitors to coastal East and South Asia, Africa, and northwestern Europe. As waders, bar-tailed godwits feed primarily upon aquatic invertebrates such as snails, small bivalves, crustaceans, insects, earthworms, and especially bristleworms. Bartel godwits are social but extremely wary birds, which congregate in small flocks to forage by probing the mud in shallow water using their long, sensitive bills. They may also feed upon insects, which they find by sight in short vegetation. When these birds are alarmed, they produce high-pitched kick or kivik sounds. During courtship displays and on nesting grounds, their calls sound more like a wick, a wick, a wick, or kue, kue. Reach around 15 to 16 inches, or 37 to 41 centimeters in length, and around 6.7 to 22.2 ounces, or 190 to 630 grams in weight, with a 27.5 to 31.5 inch or 70 to 80 centimeter long wingspan. They are a fairly large for a wading bird. Adults have blue-gray legs and a slight upturned bicolored bill, which is pink at the base and black towards the tip. The neck, breast, and belly are unbroken brick red in their breeding plumage and are off-white in winter. The back of these birds is molted gray in color, and Bartel godwits are typically monogamous during the breeding season, which lasts from May to June. Breeding pairs will perform courtship displays in which one circles high above the nest while the other calls loudly. The nest is typically made of a shallow cup of moss, sometimes lined with other vegetation. Here, the female will lay 2 to 4 eggs, which are incubated for around 20 to 22 days. Both parents share incubation of the eggs and care for the young. Chicks are precocial, and they hatch with their eyes open and are able to follow their parents to nearby marshy areas to find their own food. The young fledge and become independent from their parents at around 1 month old and reach reproductive maturity around 2 years of age. Under ideal conditions, a bar-tailed godwit may live up to 30 years. Next up, we have the golden-crowned flying fox. Also known as the golden-caped fruit bat, is a species of megabat which is endemic exclusively to the islands of the Philippines, where they tend to inhabit old-growth rainforests and forested riverways. They are a primarily nocturnal species which spends their days resting and socializing in colonies up to several thousand strong. These colonies often include members of other bat species, such as the large flying fox. Come sunset, these megabats take flight in order to search for food, such as leaves, tree sap, nectar, and fruit, especially figs. Unlike other bats which navigate using echolocation, golden-caped fruit bats typically have large, well-developed eyes with excellent dark vision. These megabats are preyed upon by reticulated pythons, crocodiles, and birds of prey, such as the Philippine eagle. Reaching upwards of 2 feet or 60 centimeters in length and 3.5 pounds or 1.6 kilograms in weight, with a 5.6 foot or 1.7 meter wingspan, the giant golden-crowned flying fox is one of, if not the largest bat on Earth. It gets its common name from the coloration of its fur, which is yellow from the top of its head down to its shoulders. The sides of its face, brows, and throat are black, while the sides of its neck and upper back are maroon. This maroon fur transitions into a brownish black, and then that grades into a reddish brown down the back. The belly and hind limbs are generally brownish black, and its wings are pale brown. They are monogamous. They are a polygynous species which breeds twice a year. Females generally give birth in April to June to a single offspring. Under ideal conditions, a golden-crowned flying fox will reach sexual maturity around 2 years of age and will live up to 30. And our extinct animal week is Tropognathus. It is a genus of large pterosaur, which is known to have lived throughout South America during the Albian of the early Cretaceous period, some 113 to 108 million years ago. The first remains of Tropognathus, consisting of a partial skull, were found in the Santana group of rock in the Aripe Basin of Sierra, Brazil by fossil collectors at some point in the 1980s. In 1987, said skull was purchased by the German Paleontology Museum in Munich, and then named and described as the type species Tropognathus mesebrinus by Dr. Peter Wellenhofer. with the generic name being derived from the Greek tropos, meaning keel, and gnathos, meaning jaw. The specific name is derived from conin mesembrenos, or of the noontide, which is often simplified as southern in reference to the province from the southern hemisphere it was found. After its naming and description, many other researchers tend to consider Tropognathus to be part of several other genera, leading to enormous taxonomic confusion, with Tropognathus being reclassified as Anherigenera, Coriorinchus, Coloborhynchus, and most famously Ornithochirus. However, the discovery of a second Tropognathus specimen in 2002, consisting of a lower jaw, and a third specimen in 2013, consisting of a mostly complete skeleton, prove that Tropognathus is its own distinct genus. Standing around 4.5 feet to 6.5 feet tall, or 1.5 to 2 meters tall, with a 23 to 28.5 foot, or 7 to 8.7 meter wingspan, Tropognathus is regarded as the largest pterosaur from the southern hemisphere and amongst the largest creatures to ever fly, only being surpassed by the giant asdarchids like Hatzegopteryx and Quetzalcoatlus. The skull of Tropognathus bore a distinctive convex keeled crest on its snout and the underside of its lower jaw, which were likely used as display structures. With its long yet comparably thin wings and jaws lined with needle-like teeth, Tropognathus seems well adapted for flying over bodies of water and snatching fish on which it would feed. As always, take care to my guys, gals, non-binary pals. Hope you have a wonderful aviation day.